Emotion mapping can transform your life. This is actually second episode. Welcome to my channel, Brain Heart Wonders. This is Zahra Ranjbar, and I am happy to be your host. And this is my best friend, Honey. Her name is Honey. Honey, sit here. Let me talk. In the last episode, we had a scenario about how we can manage our emotions. I had a call from my friend after, sitting together, and she identified and specified her dominant emotion. She lived with, depends on how we talk about it. We reached a conclusion when she left after 20 minutes with me. I called her after 2 days actually to see how she was feeling. She says she has much better, having more control over her own emotion because she learned to use pen, paper. She learned to write it down. She learned to read it for herself. She learned how to, feel her feelings about her emotion, and she identified the feelings, and she put name on the feelings, and she was waiting to get a result from the approach she had for self-regulation. She got some skills, she got some strategies, and she's waiting, but she said she's much better, and she actually told me she got 80% control over her thoughts, over her emotion, which 80% is great. Good on her. Today also I have another case scenario to present, but before that, we want to know, is emotion bad things? Emotion is not bad. Actually, it is our survival. If there is no emotion, how can we survive? Why amygdala is there? Why this is our security in our brain? Amygdala doing right things. As long as we don't overwhelm this tiny, organ in our brain, when amygdala is overwhelmed, we are overwhelmed with lots of, stress hormone, and we know stress hormone is not good at all. Stress hormone can suppress your immune system, as happened to my friend. She said her coughs coming, going. She never, get rid of cough because stress compromises our immune system, as of course you know. I met a gentleman in the lift, actually. When we left the lift, it was, a little bit bright. I could see his skin was not right, a little bit yellow, and when I look at his eyes, it was actually yellow. But he didn't notice. I asked him how he was feeling. He said, never, couldn't be better. I am in the moon. I am the best. I said, I haven't seen you for a long time, but today I can see your skin a little bit different. Isn't it better to check with your doctor? He said, I don't have pain. I eat well. I sleep well. I am okay, 100%. And he appreciated my concern for, suggesting that to him. After sometimes I couldn't see him. After some time I heard, because I told him to check his liver. I told him probably your GP will refer you to another specialist to check your liver, and it is not bad to, just check up. Because I heard he used a lot of alcoholic beverage, so I was thinking maybe he already damaged his liver. Anyway, I heard recently he is hospitalized for having liver disease, unfortunately. Sometimes the symptoms we can see, but there is no any disturbance, no feeling, but the problem is there. Suppose we have temperature, right? But we don't have any pain anywhere. And then if the temperature from acute goes to chronic and no pain, so there should be some inflammation somewhere. This is a sign, right? Unless the person goes to doctor and then blood tests, different tests, and the medical investigation, they find out where is the inflammation. This is exactly about our emotion. We have emotion like what happened to my friend. She said she bombarded with thousand emotions, and she was completely confused in the last case scenario, and she didn't know what to do. As soon as she took a pen and a blank paper with her, she tried to write it down, her emotion at the personal level, at the family level, and workplaces, everything. She could identify very strong 5 emotions, or six emotions she found out. And then among 6 emotions, one of the emotions was dominant, very strong, which triggers other emotion as well. So this is a process. When we have a pen, when we go to, classify, first to make it organized, to figure out exactly where your emotion come from, you have to specify, is it at the personal level? Is it related to your family? The case scenario I am going to present today, so it makes a little bit more clear about it. Emotion is very good. This is our survival. Without emotion, we don't, this is the amygdala. Amygdala in our brain, in our, limbic system. Amygdala is always alert for any threat or danger. But sometimes the dangers, triggers, stressors come from outside, like see a lion or wild animal. Anything from outside can be a stressor. Can be just problem between, relationship problem. Can be problem related to work, stressor outside. So the person sometimes don't know this emotion where they come from. When it comes on piece of paper, because when we write it, all of 5 senses get involved and brain get more stimulation with all senses collectively, right? We need awareness. When we have awareness where it comes from emotional intelligence, it should be with us actually, then we get aware where this emotion come from. We just feel our feelings, name the feelings, how it looks like to you, and then we need also to know the effect of this feeling, this emotion on yourself and also on others. We should have a little bit social skills as well. So this is dysfunctional emotion. You find it out, you find the triggers, you find the external, resources, what happened from outside, from family, from yourself, from workplace. And This is a time for self-regulation. Self-regulation is very important. As we said, you have a pen, you just identify the dominant emotion, okay? And when you specify this is a time to focus on self-regulation. Of course, reading, writing, reading, and respect to yourself. Be compassionate. Self-compassion is very important. No self-blaming here, and no need. With no emotion there, we should not just judge on that you are bad, whatever, blaming yourself. It doesn't work. So, writing, then read to yourself. When you read, your hearing sense gets stimulated, and you see also the pen in your hand stimulates your senses, tactile senses, and also collectively all senses send stimulation to your brain, and brain ready to handle this emotion, right? Self-regulation. About 9 years ago, I found this NLP, neuro-linguistic programming. This is one of the best book I have read in relation to emotional intelligence. And also I heard there is a course online, and also I heard there is the latest edition, neuro-linguistic programming. This is the best. It helps you with emotional intelligence. It is not only for adults. Children can have emotional intelligence at home just from the beginning. It, boosts their self-esteem. They will have, better performance at the school. Then this child, when grow up through adulthood, get job, career, they can be asset to the place it's working, because this person is very relaxed in communication with others, not only with herself, with others. People like to be around him or around her. And then related to job, the brain is relaxed to be creative, bring value to the company or to place of work. Anyway, so the red one was the challenges. What the emotion, dominant emotion you found, you discover. Okay, so you are going to change it to the green one, which is a new beginning for you. And then you call it challenge. Don't say you have very bad emotion. Don't use bad, because it gives you a sense of rejection. Okay, you welcome that. This is a challenge, because challenge is good. Challenge is good. It helps us to find our weakness, to turn it into our strength. Okay, challenge is a learning process. That is good. And green one is good, new beginning. Then you reach the blue, which is a mental relaxation, when you reach to resolution. I give you a case scenario. There's a couple with Italian background. He surprised his wife for the anniversary. They wanted to go to Italy. And then the city he was born is a little bit far from Roma. And they have to go to Italy. Then they have to organize another transportation to get to the destination. At the beginning, his wife, when we're sitting talking about this vacation, about the anniversary, his wife 100% agree with him, and then they plan to get prepared for the vacation about like 2 months ago. After 1 week, this beautiful lady, she is really beautiful. She's very soft, very beautiful, sweet personality. I know her. She started losing weight. In 2 months, she lost about 6 kilos. Then, not only that, she had disturbed sleep. It was difficult for her to have a healthy sleep patterns. It was another issue. She said she forced herself to eat to make her husband happy, otherwise she wouldn't. That is why she has lost lots of kilos in 2 months. And then when she checked herself, she was very angry with herself. She had mixed it. She came actually to me as a friend, talking, sitting with each other, and then we brought, as usual, paper and pen. Okay. She wanted she welcomed this technique, right? Because she didn't know exactly why, what happened to her. She said, even though she loves her husband, but for 2 months, she's highly irritable, very impatient, and very argumentative, especially to her husband. And she was not happy about it. She said, this is not me. That is what she said. So, when we brought a piece of paper, and then she wrote it down at the personal level, at the family level, then vacation holiday, then she specified, she identified the emotion, fear, anger, all the emotions she identified them, she specified them, and then she found the most emotion was surrounding the vacation to Italy. Then, when she found this emotion in relation to vacation, in relation to her anniversary, is so dominant, we try to make an emotion map in relation to just vacation. Because the other emotions, we left it aside, we worked on the dominant one, which was vacation. The result, so to just summarize it, the result was, just from the beginning, 2 months ago, when her husband surprised her with this news, they are going to spend the time in Italy and from Italy go to the city where he was born. She completely disagreed, but she pretended to her husband that everything's okay. She was happy to go. But inside, her feelings completely was different. She was not transparent to her husband to express her feeling exactly how she was feeling about it. She said, there are 85 people in that destination, in that city in Italy, or part of Italy. And then part of the tradition, she had to, have a, gift package for everybody for 85 person. And also among them, a few of them, she has some disagreement in some occasion with some of them, and she didn't like to face with, but because from her family to her husband. Anyway, there was some domestic issue as well. So she understood the source of her emotion. She understood that she needed to be honest and transparent to her husband. She decided, with encouragement, of course, I told her there is no way unless you have to honestly express your feeling to your husband because he loves you. That is why he wanted to surprise you, to take you, to Italy. Then probably together you will find another alternative solution. So your emotion will get to the resolutioning point, right? So you resolve your emotion if you sit with your husband and talk. You said, because I love you, I didn't want to reject your idea, but inside me, I felt I was not prepared to go to Italy. So the good news is, when she left, I had a, after I think 1 week, she talked to her husband. She openly talked about the issues. She was completely transparent to him. And then they decided to go Italy, still the same destination, but instead of going to another destination, the city he was born, get those who concern, those family members who concern, they love more. So invite them to Italy to have a dinner together. That is what she told me, and she was very happy. Now her husband agreed, she agreed. Both of them, both sides, they find a resolution. Okay, so it is very easy. Instead of being under stress, because internal stressor, it is even more cloudier than cloud over the sky. It can be intrusive all the time, can cross your mind all the time. So there is a link between our thoughts and emotion and action. When we have an emotion, and a strong one, dominant one, which is disturbing, overwhelming, we should know the impact of this emotion on ourselves, the effects on others, and in our life as well. We should all think about it. We should know a little bit of social skill as well. From this regulation of the emotion to self-regulation and to final resolution, this is all process we just mentioned. It is just easy to take, because when we talk about the stressor, outside stressors, the inside stressors and triggers which can come from our mind, our disturbing thoughts. Sometimes it is very difficult unless you sit and be honest, be transparent with yourself to find out exactly what makes you have such a strong, disturbing emotion. When you want to go to the resolution, so you have defined this regulation, you want to go to self-regulation and to final resolution. This process, you have to be, take it easy, have fun with that. If you want to use a computer, a keyboard, you use keyboard, use symbols, use, the images, underline, use it bold, colorful, any way you like, as long as you bring your emotion on the screen, or you can save it, or you can bring it on a piece of paper. So this is all the process. I hope you enjoyed this topic, and please make sure if you find this neuro-linguistic programming NLP somewhere, you try to have it, because I have it 9 years. And I think twice I read it and I enjoy it. This is one of the best books I have ever read when it comes to neuro-linguistic programming. There are beautiful books out there, but this is, on this topic, this is very good. This is good for children, this is good for parents, this is good for any position you have. Doesn't matter, you are professor, you are scientist, you are teacher, nurse, doctor. So that is the best book. It helps you a lot. Okay. So I am looking forward to just get connecting with you soon in the following video for the final episode on this topic, emotion mapping. And make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. All the best.